What's up everyone, how's it going? It's Simon here from CD Revival once again, and today I'm going to do another band ranking. Today's ranking is the band Ratt from the 80s, mainly sort of glam band, although to call them a glam band is probably doing them a bit of a disservice. Really for me, probably the most consistent of those sort of bands, like excellent albums all the way through really. 7 studio albums to rank. I think they're very underrated. Excellent band, like 2 great guitarists in Robin Crosby, Warren DeMartini. Really work together well. Some great riffs they've done. Stephen Pearcy on vocals, who is not a fantastic singer, but suits the music really well. And obviously can sing, you know, he's a decent vocalist. Juan Crucier on bass and Bobby Blotzer on drums. Good drummer, good bassist, just an all-round real good band. Excellent live. So yeah, I'm going to rank their 7 studio albums in order of, you know, my favourite to least favourite. Everyone's going to have a different listing, different ranking. If you like the band, let me know yours. But we'll start off. So I've got most of their albums on this, which is the original album series. Which is their first 5 albums. The last 2 I don't have. Did have all the original ones on vinyl back in the day, and also their first EP, which came out, which I think is 7 tracks on there. That's pretty cool. Really difficult to get these days, and very expensive if you can get it. I'm not going to rank that because it's not a full-length album, but still worth picking up if you see it for a reasonable price. But yeah, expect to pay a few quid for it anyway. So yeah, starting off, my number 7 album is the Ratt self-titled album, not to be confused with the EP that came out in 1999. It was on Portrait Records. It's their 6th studio album, produced by Richie Zito. This one doesn't have Juan Crucier on bass. It's got Robbie Crane, and also doesn't feature Robin Crosby, who was going through some health problems at the time, basically, down to drug use, and also he contracted HIV. Did eventually die, I think in the early 2000s, maybe 2003, of heroin overdose, which is sadly sorely missed. But this album doesn't get a lot of good reviews, and it's not their best album, but it's still a pretty listenable album all the way through, to be honest with you. There's a few sort of ballads on there which they weren't really, like, they didn't do a lot of them on their previous albums. But yeah, standout tracks, Over the Edge is really good. Gave Up, Giving Up, Dead Reckoning, Lovesick, they're probably my standout tracks on the album. As I say, by far I think they're my least favourite album of theirs, but still well worth a listen. It's still fairly decent. Number 6, I've got their 2010 album Infestation, which was their final album, 7th album. I don't think they'll do another one, to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of in-band fighting goes on nowadays, and ended up with, you know, various incarnations of Ratt, like Bobby Blotzer's Ratt, which is, you know, along the same lines as, you know, Steve Riley's LA Guns, but maybe not quite as bad as that. But anyway, regardless, I think this will be their last album. Produced by Michael Basquette. Robbie Crane once again on bass, and the guitarist, along with Warren DeMartini, is Carlos Cavazo, who was previously in the band Quiet Riot. So a decent guitar player. I don't think it's as good as the Robin Warren pairing, but once again a decent album from 2010. And once again, a difficult album to get hold of for a decent price. In fact, I've seen this one and the self-titled one, excuse me, recently for about £20 on CD. So I suppose that's not awful, but still a fair bit of money. Yeah, good album, this one. Much better than the 1999 album. And Eat Me Up Alive is a really good opening track. Best of Me is a good track. That's a single as well. Last Call, I think, is a good one. As Good as It Gets is another, probably one of my favourites as well. But yeah, just generally a good album all the way through. Well listenable. Nearly up to the standard of their sort of golden age, if you like, but for me, not quite there. Roadrunner Records, they brought this one out on. Don't know if I mentioned that already. But still, good album. well worth a listen. If you like the old stuff and you've not listened to it, then you won't be too disappointed. You'll be probably pleasantly surprised with Infestation from 2010. Number 5, I have got this one, which is Detonator from 1990. This was their 5th album. Previous albums had all been produced by Beau Hill. This produced by Desmond Child and Sir Arthur Payson, which is his, engineer basically. So Desmond Child, as he tends to do, gets involved with the writing. So he's involved in quite a few of the tracks. I say it's their 5th album, and it is slightly weaker than the first 4, I would say. It starts off with Shame, 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 which is a really good track. Loving You's a Dirty Job is a really good one as well. I mean, it's a good album, to be honest with you. One Step Away is quite lightweight. Hard Time's quite a heavy one. Heads I Win, Tails You Lose, another super catchy track. All or Nothing, Can't Wait on Love, good. Giving Yourself Away, Top Secret. So it's it's got some good tracks. The drums feel a little bit lightweight compared to previous albums as well, maybe. But still, a classic album. All the first 5 are great albums, but this one definitely, for me, is down in 5th. Number 4 might be a little bit controversial, but this is my list, and to say the top 4 are all pretty, excellent, to be honest with you. Ratt Out of the Cellar, 1984. This is their first album. This is the one that they made it big, thanks to the single Round and Round. But yeah, all tracks on here are good. Some early stuff from Stephen Pearce's previous band, Mickey Ratt, and also Robin Crosby, his band before Ratt, which I can't remember the name of, which is poor of me. But it's got Back for More on here, which was on the Ratt EP. Obviously, they re-recorded it for that. The aforementioned Round and Round, which was a massive hit for them in the US. Wanted Man, which has got a cool video as well. Things like You're in Trouble, In Your Direction, She Wants Money, which is a real banger. I think Juan Crucier wrote that one. Lack of Communication, which is another single as well. Morning After, I'm Insane, Scene of the Crime. Not a bad track on there at all. Really, really good album. Yeah, they're all sort of 4.5, 5 out of 5s, the top 4. Was very difficult to pick between them, but obviously I had to for the sake of the ranking. But Out of the Cellar, excellent album. Nothing wrong with it. It's still only at my number 4. Number 3, I've got Reach for the Sky, which was their 4th album from 1988, produced by Beau Hill. Originally Mike Stone was producing it, but got taken off of it. Atlantic didn't like the production on it. A lot of people at the time, it was not really rated super highly. I don't understand why, because I've always kind of loved it, to be brutally honest. City to City is an excellent opener. I Want a Woman, super catchy track, the single as well. Cheesy as all hell video for that one. Way Cool Jr. has got this really cool Aerosmith kind of swing to it. It's excellent. But yeah, they're all really catchy tracks on here. Maybe it's a little bit lighter weight than certainly the top 2. But yeah, Don't Bite the Hand That Feeds. I Want to Love You Tonight is kind of a sort of power ballad, but it's got quite a lot of balls to it. I think that's a really, really good track. Probably one of the standout tracks. Chain Reaction, No Surprise, Bottom Line. What's It Gonna Be? They're all super catchy tracks. What I'm After is another really good one to finish off. Strange cover, quite honestly. But an excellent album. Really, really did enjoy this when it came out, and still enjoy it to this day. So really, really cool. Number 2, very little between the top 2 at all. Even less than between the other. Anyway, Dancing Undercover from 1986, which is their 3rd album. This one produced by Beau Hill once again. Probably their heaviest album, if you like, with fast up-tempo stuff. Starts off with Dance, One Good Lover, Drive Me Crazy, Slip of the Lip, Body Talk. Body Talk was on the Golden Child soundtrack featuring Eddie Murphy the movie. Looking for Love, 7th Avenue is probably a slightly weaker track. It Doesn't Matter, Take a Chance, and finishes off with Enough Is Enough, which is one of my favourite tracks of theirs. Really cool, really good, yeah, just a really good track. But yeah, I remember getting this on vinyl when it first came out, and yeah, did really love it. It came out at the same time, sort of time as Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. There wasn't much time between the two of them. And yeah, much preferred this one, to be honest with you. Just a really, really good up-tempo, good rocking, probably their hardest rocking album. Some really good stuff on here. Yeah, between this and the number one, there's very, very little for me. But yeah, superb album, Dancing Undercover from 1986. And that's their third album. And my number one album from Ratt is Invasion of Your Privacy, or Privacy if you're American. 1985, this is their second album. This was the first album I heard from Ratt. A friend of mine had the album. I think he'd seen them supporting Ozzy or something. And yeah, as soon as I heard this, it was like, yeah, this is a band that I like and need to, you know, listen to more of. Good heavy album. This one's got amazing riffs on it. And the thing I like about this album is it introduces pretty much most of the tracks. It's like introduces the riff without any other instruments on it. So it's like, here's the riff, and then it goes into the track and you hear it and it's like, yeah, that's, you know, they're all really, really cool riffs. And it does that pretty much all the way through the album. You're in Love to start off with, really cool, heavy riff, Never Use Love. The sequencing on this album is amazing as well. A lot of the tracks sort of stop and then straight into the next one really well, like things like Got Me on the Line, You Should Know By Now. They both kind of seeg into each other. Lay It Down is on here as well. It's an excellent track. Give It All, Closer to My Heart is a sort of a more of a ballady style one, but not super, like, you know, pop ballad. Between the Eyes, probably a slightly weaker track. What You Give Is What You Get, dangerous but worth the risk. Just a, yeah, superb album. So my favourite, probably slightly for sentimental reasons, because it's the first one that I heard. It's the album that really got me into Ratt. So yeah, strongly recommend this one. I say excellent riffs, heavy guitar tone, really cool songs. Just an excellent album. So that's my Ratt ranking. And let me know what you think. If you're a fan of theirs, what you think is your favourite album. Say most people will probably have him in a different order, I would imagine. It's just been released on the like there's an Atlantic box set, the Atlantic Years, which is basically those 5 albums, but probably about £20 more than I paid for that one. So, but yeah. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you for the next ranking. Could possibly be Queens of the Stone Age. Have got their new album now, so I've been listening to that quite a lot. So we'll see where that fits in with the ranking of their albums. A lot of things to do in R as well. Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rammstein spring to mind to do rankings for. So plenty to look forward to, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be informed of any future videos, which there will be a fair few. Thanks very much for watching. Y'all take it easy. Cheers.